Our workshop will be divided into 4 thematic blocks. It's entrepreneurship, excellence, education, and attractive environment. These 4 areas are very important for young people deciding whether to stay in our region or not. For each topic, we will have an expert who will at first present activities and projects which could be very interesting for you, and then he or she will be ready to answer your question. So do not hesitate to ask in the chat or here on the site. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome here 2 very special guests who are here today with us online. It's Mr. Toshanovsky, member of European Parliament, former governor and former mayor of city of Ostrava, and also Mr. Ivo Vondrak, a current governor of Moravian-Silesian region. Without any further delay, I would like to give a floor at first to the representative of European level, Mr. Toshanovsky, who prepared a presentation and opening remarks for you. So, Mr. Toshanovsky, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dear students, young people from Moravian-Silesian region, I'm sorry, this is a little bit, okay, in this function because it's no good in the place. As a local patriot from mayor of Ostrava and governor of the Moravian-Silesian region, I am delighted to launch this inspiring workshop dedicated to you young people, the future of our region. It is, of course, this situation. 200 years history of coal mining and steel production is coming to end this years, and the region is preparing for a new phase, the begin in the 1990s. Once one of the driving forces of the Czech economy, it has fallen into category of structurally affected regions with all the attend phenomena, such as a negative impact on image and the departure of many young and educated people. The need for a chance, the employment and mental setup for hundreds of thousands of the region's inhabitants. The gradual renewal of the region is helped by the patriotism activity in the regions of these inhabitants. This is what the region is famous for. The region is among the best in the efficient and transparent use of the EU financial support. In building major innovation infrastructure, the region has created, for example, the National Support Supercomputing Center, IT4 Innovations, which today belongs of the European network of digital innovation hubs. It is the interconnection of the IT sector with technical fields and cooperation between university and companies within the region that gave rise on the new motto of the region, from coal mining to data mining. I think it is very good for the future. Since 2018, the region has also been actively working within the European Innovation Coal Region in Transition. Within this activity, the region shares its results and future plans with other coal regions in the European Union, but also draws inspiration for its own transformation. Today, workshops built on this international activities to involve young people in the region's transition process. What do wish the region for the third decade of the 21st century? To be able to make the most effectivity of use the funds under the Just Transition Mechanism and other relevant EU and national programs. To be able to negotiate leverage significant private investment with high added value. to became the example of good practice in the transformation on the core regions of the whole of European Union. To get right of the label of structural handicapped region and became again one of the main development pools of the Czech Republic. In doing, the region should not forget its rich industry history and fill it with a new modern content. To become a region that offers an attractive environmental for young people to live and place where talented people return or more because they can participate on this existing transformation and find their place for a happy life. Thank you for your attention, and sorry it is a little bit longer speech, but I think it's important for you to discuss about new phase in our region. Thank you.
Thank you as well for your opening contribution, Mr. Toshenovsky. And now I would like to welcome our governor, Mr. Vondrák, who has been long involved with young students as a teacher, university teacher, dean, rector, and later as a governor, led a lot of discussion with young students during preparation of regional strategy. So, Mr. Governor, the floor is yours for your opening remark.
Thank you. It sounds pretty strange that floor is mine because I'm sitting on my chair in front of this Mac and I have a chance to talk to you. So first of all, I would like to welcome you, dear young friends, or maybe not just young, also younger friends, because me and Mr. Toshenovsky, we are more younger than young. So thank you for coming. I believe that this workshop is going to be let's say, inspirational for you because we are facing very difficult times, not only from point of view of Ukraine crisis, not only from point of view of COVID situation, but of course, because of the transformation of our region, and that this transformation won't be easy. We know all who lives here. So thank you for coming. And what I mean by the transformation, it was maybe 15 years ago as a dean, I had a chance to open the conference about data mining. And I finished this conference by the sentence, let's switch from coal mining to data mining. Of course, many people were disappointed that I would like to delete or dismiss all those industrial companies around us. But it had more, let's say, ideological aspect of this sentence. I meant by this that we have to switch from this, let's say, old-fashioned industry to the new industry that is based on new technologies, based on innovation. And this was my primary goal when I was elected as governor of our Moravian-Silesian region. And it was pretty obvious that it won't be easy. We still have to fight the problem of brain drain. We have to fight problems with the pollution. Right now, we have to fight problems with the energy sources because our coal mines are going to be closed very briefly and very soon, and we do not have sufficient energy sources to, let's say, substitute this coal that we used before. So it means that we have to start with something, and what I consider as a very important is that we have to build appropriate ecosystem, innovative ecosystem. And I would like to say that we were pretty successful with that during the last 4 or 5 years. Because in 2016, we were the last region in Czech Republic from point of view of entrepreneurial activities. Right now, we are among the 3 most successful, innovative ecosystems in Czech Republic, including Prague and Brno. It means that something has changed. And I believe that it will change. And for that purpose, we worked really hard, and we still been working hard on the issue of how to define the whole framework of the transformation of the whole region. We had many working groups that were talking about how to do that. What we can do, we finished with the coals, what kind of industry should be preserved, what kind of industry is going to be closed sooner or later. So what we do as a new technological, let's say, successful region in Czech Republic. And from that perspective, we were working on the Restart program. And the Restart program started to be a very good baseline for the, let's say, for the new strategy that is in EU called Just Transition Fund. And this Just Transition Fund is something what shows us new possibilities and show us what kind of funds we can use for this kind of transformation. And it won't be easy, as I've said. We have to find new energy sources. We were prepared that we are going to switch from coal to the gas, and we will have before us, let's say, maybe 10, 20 years of transition phase. But we know what's happening now. We know that the gas is something what we won't have. And it means that we have to do something new, and we know that we don't have many options. Of course, we would like to build new reactors, new nuclear plants, that's true. But still, there are a lot of things that has to be solved and done, because you cannot switch the heating system for 300,000 people in our region from the coal to something else than a gas. So it means that we will have solved many problems, and the Just Transition Fund and the Modernization Fund that we've got in Czech Republic can be used for these purposes. But I would say that I'm glad that you are going to the part of this new energy. And now I don't mean new energy as energy sources like gas, coal, electricity, etc. I mean new energy of the human possibilities we need to change our region. And you are young people, and you have, let's say, some ideas, you have some visions, and it would be great when you can join us and to do that. For that purposes, we built a new website that you can submit your projects, your ideas, and we would like to use them, because this is what we have done when we were working on our strategy for 2019 to 2027. And I believe that this is something what is a good start, but this is just a start. And we have to continue, and we have a lot of things before us. So thank you for joining us, and I believe that we will have a very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. And at this moment, I would like to thank both of our guests for their opening remarks, opening speeches. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to the next part of the workshop, which will be focused more on projects and activities that are planned in our region. First, let me tell you how this will be done. Each thematic blocks, as my colleague said previously, there are 4 of them, will last 20 minutes. At the beginning, the chair will start the block with interesting information, interesting figures about the concrete topic. Then the speaker, in this case Adela Hradilová, will follow with planned projects, planned concrete projects, and then there will be time for discussion and questions from our young guests. So the questions won't come only from our guests, but also from people in the audience here or online. So feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we will make sure to read them out at the end of each block. Okay, let's start with the first topic, which is focused on business and innovative environment in our region. I would like to turn to the chair with the first question. What is the situation regarding business in our region?
Okay, thanks. Hello to everybody. Just few facts and figures about it. The first good information is that we have 7 million people around us in this region and neighborhood. It means together with Silesian Voivodship in Poland and Žilinský kraj in Slovakia, together with our region, Moravia-Silesia, there are 7 million people. It's one of the most populated regions in Europe, and where there are so many people, there is a lot of opportunities for business. So this is the first good idea and information. The second one is that we belong to regions in the Czech Republic with above standard support for entrepreneurs, both young startups and also for already existing companies with the ambition to go to the global markets. It will be described more by Adela in her speech, but we can say that since 2017 there is a Moravian-Silesian Innovation Center, and they have about 300 clients, satisfied clients, and some of them are sitting also here. Another information that besides this innovation center, we have also a very active accelerator for young university students, which is located in Technical University of Ostrava. And each year there is a very successful event, special event, like something like Dragon's Day, where the best young entrepreneurs present their ideas in the, let's say, big conference hall of Technical University. And another advantage of our region is that we can offer a lot of very nice industrial sites with a specific atmosphere, which gives good floor for creative industries. Perhaps you know area of Vítkovice, and there are many of such young companies. At the end of my introductory speech, I would like to say that we have also a special culture here in our region, culture which is based on some kind of patriotism of people who used, as we say, to work hard and play hard. And I like a sentence of one of the young entrepreneurs who said to me, I really enjoy to show the others in the country and abroad how much are they wrong if they underestimate us people from Ostrava. So let's be proud about it and do something even more in the future. Now the floor is to Adela, and she will present you some specific services which are available for you young entrepreneurs.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you very much for a very nice welcome by our governor and also by Zdenek. My name is Adela Hradilova, and I work for the Moravian-Silesian Innovation Center. I am responsible for implementation of the regional innovation strategy and for piloting and testing different services and activities and programs for young entrepreneurs, for startups, but also for already existing companies. What I wanted, my presentation will be very brief because I don't want to bother you with too many details. And I want to give you a lot of space for your questions, because I think the questions from young audience are always very interesting, and I like talking to young people because they bring new ideas. I'm old, and I'm not so creative like you are, so I'm really looking for your inputs and for your questions. So just to start, our services or MSIC didn't come from blue sky. It's a part of the strategy. So, and I think this is very important to have in mind. So what we do is always in line with the strategy which was approved by the regional assembly, and it's important. We have so-called, and now I'm sorry, but I will give you different terms, but you don't have to remember it. I think what's important to remember that our mission as MSIC is to develop the innovation ecosystem. In other words, basically to create the environment which is favorable for entrepreneurs. So if you want to do the business, you have places where you can go and you can ask for different type of support, being offices, being services, being some kind of access to finance and many others, and I will come to it a bit later. Under the framework of regional innovation strategy, we defined 4 strategic areas to which we want to work with. The first one is called entrepreneurial region. Its main goal is basically to support entrepreneurship culture in this region and basically to help people who has courage to start their own business to develop it more easily. The second strategic area is talent attraction management. As it was said by my predecessors, this region faces brain drain and we want to change it to brain gain because we think our region has really a lot of things to offer. The third one is digitization. Basically, the aim is to increase the level of digitalization in our small and medium-sized companies. In this area, we have very close cooperation with the Technical University here in Ostrava, and especially with the Supercomputing Center. We are part of so-called European Digital Innovation Hub network. So if you work in this area, you can be sure if the services we offer are not enough, we can point you to different digital innovation hubs in Europe, so you can also internationalize your business. And the last but not least is the area of environmental technologies. I must admit we are in the beginning at this area. We don't have too many services, but we are working on them because we think it will be and it will become more and more important in future. On this slide you can see, but unfortunately other panelists cannot see it. There are services which we have developed during last 4 years. They cover different stages of life cycle of the company. So we have services for the people who only have idea and want to validate the idea. We provide, and we don't distinguish whether this idea comes from young people or older people. It doesn't really matter. What's important is the relevance of the idea. So we offer consultancy, which is called startup hours. So whoever can come to MSIC, we sit together with you and we provide you free consultancy. We have a special program called Design Sprint. So if your idea is more developed, you can, with the help of different mentors and coaches, you can further validate it. It takes 2 days of your time. It's during the weekend, so you cannot go to the bars, but you will have to spend 2 days at MSIC premises, but you will work on your business. What we do for all phases of the company's life cycle is matchmaking, because this is very important. We are on the ground, we work with many people from the universities, we work with many entrepreneurs, we work with experts from abroad, but also from the region. So I'm pretty sure we can point you to right people in the ecosystem. And we have one service which is actually dedicated for young people. It's called Business Camp. And you can spend 4 days, I think in July, at this camp, and you will work on your business idea. You will have mentoring and coaching services, and in the end, you will make your elevator pitch in front of the investors. So they will ask you very strict questions. So this is one of the services which is, specifically for young people. We also have a lot of services for the companies which already know what they want to do. They validated their idea. Different type of mentoring programs like MSIC Impulse, Impact, Expand. If you want to know more details, you can ask me after this workshop finishes. In cooperation, in very strong and very good cooperation with the regional office, we designed so-called voucher schemes for entrepreneurs. So we have a voucher for wannabe entrepreneurs. You can receive a small amount of money to start your business. We have an international competition called Startup Voucher, on which we cooperate with our partners from Poland and from Slovakia. If your idea is really scalable and you want to make it on the global business, we can provide you with the consultancy for so-called European Innovation Council grants. So, you know, it's something like a Premier League, because you're a man, so you understand. I don't. Somebody explained it to me. We also have the Business Angels Club. So any entrepreneur can come present its ideas in front of the business angels from the region, but also from the outside. So that's for the life cycle called Start. But we also have a lot of services for companies in growth phase. And again, all our services are basically designed according to the needs of the company. So I cannot describe it, what we do, because each company has a bit different needs, and we design it according to the needs of the company. We have a network of more than 100 experts who help the companies to tackle different challenges in their growth. And there are 2 voucher schemes, as I said, developed together with the Moravian-Silesian region. One is called InnoBooster Voucher, and the second one is called TechArt Voucher. So you can see that the offering is quite wide, so I think we can really provide a very complex support. And if I'm too long, just tell me. I am, okay. So I will try to shorten my presentation. These are some figures. Some of them were already mentioned. So during last 5 years, we have supported more than 600 change projects in our companies, being startups or already existing companies. And when we counted the consultancy hours, it's more than 10,000 hours we provided to the companies. And as far as the matchmaking is concerned, we provided matchmaking for more than 600 times. So we put together at least 600 cooperation. Not all of them were successful, but we connected 600 couples, let's say. So we are like a speed dating agency, kind of. So my last slide will be actually about services which are planned for the future, because we are talking today about Just Transition Fund. And what we are now preparing together with our colleagues from the Moravian-Silesian region is the grant scheme called Entrepreneurial Region, where we put together the system of different vouchers. So if you want to assess your abilities to become entrepreneur, you can use the voucher called Start It. Then we have the voucher for wannabe entrepreneurs. We have functional samples and prototypes voucher. So if you don't have the technical skills, you receive the voucher and you can buy the service from different prototyping labs. We also have the voucher which can help you to cooperate with industrial designer. And last but not least, we have InnoBooster voucher, which is actually paying for senior and very experienced person you can hire to your company. Because sometimes you are technically very skilled, the owners of the companies, but for example, they don't have the sales skills. So you can create a new job position and you can find experienced person from outside the company. And what might be interesting and what I think can bring really the change is that we are planning to distribute more than 3,000 vouchers within 5 years. And we will distribute more than 500 million Czech crowns via this scheme. So it's a lot of supported companies, a lot of money. And I think because it's so big, it can really make a difference. And we are also working on some kind of a circle of vouchers, but we can talk about it a bit later. And the last slide is just to demonstrate that we don't do it alone. We have a lot of partners. We have a lot of partners in the region, in the Czech Republic, but also outside. And for the details, I don't want to bother you more. So if you want to ask, you can ask about any partner which you can see on the picture. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much as well for your very concrete directions for business-oriented young people. So now, for the first time, it's time to give space to our young people. We have four of very active ones here with us today on the stage. I will briefly introduce them. We have with us Wojciech, a university student of business who is a human movement specialist. We have also David, high school student and co-founder of startup named Jungle. Rai, a student of Technical University of Ostrava, who is a fan of aviation science and robotics, and also last but not least Faizan, who is also a Technical University student and a passionate mechanical engineer. Welcome from me as well. We will start with David because he is youngest and also he has experience with business and also with business support from the MSIC agency. So David, my first question to you is. We were very surprised that you started your business at the age of only 17. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Yeah, sure. It was at the age of 15, but doesn't matter. Okay, so our first venture was to create an app for shared 3D printing, which meant that we developed an app, me personally and my two friends, which couldn't be here. So this app was for the people who have the experience with 3D printers, and then the people who search the service of 3D printing, for example, creating of prototypes and products and other products. So we developed an app, and at this moment we are searching for new customers, and at this moment we are designing and printing products and prototypes for our customers from mainly B2B sector.
Thank you. As I mentioned, you had help from MSIC agency. Can you tell us how you found out about it?
We found out about MSIC at the competition of Soutěž a podnikej, which is great for all high school students with innovative thinking and entrepreneur thinking, and they provided us with the information about MSync, and we are very happy for it because MSync was very helpful.
Thank you. As we wanted this workshop to be as interactive as possible, so we have also a question from you, young people. You have question for our experts. Ask away.
Yeah. So, which services of Innovative Science Center is mostly demanded from young people? From young entrepreneurs?
Mm-hmm. I think it's startup hours because it's really the basic consultancy, and then we can see a lot of interest in our business angel club, which is called Founders for Founders. So far, 20 projects presented in front of different business angels, and 6 or 7 out of them were really young entrepreneurs. When I say young entrepreneurs, I mean under 30 years. So, you know, we don't have too many entrepreneurs who are younger than 18, but yeah, so we consider every entrepreneur under 30 to be young.
And if you don't mind for asking this next question, if I'd like to expand my business activities to around the world, is Ostrava the right place to do this? And do you have some clients which are young technology firms that are successful around the world?
Yes, we have examples of successful technological startups who already succeeded internationally or globally. I can name just few of them. There are 2 startups from the digital health area. One is called Invent Medical. They are now very successful in American and in German market. I can name the startup Mapster. Actually, the owner and founder of Mapster is a guy who studied here at Ostrava at some secondary school, and because his Czech teacher told him he he cannot speak properly Czech. He actually turned his attention to English, so he studied very hard English. Then he moved to Japan. He did, I think, his Japan. Then he moved to Latin America, and after this nice journey around the world, he came back to Ostrava, to technological part in Ostrava Poruba. He set his business called Mapster, and he's now very successful. He has a lot of customers from Arab countries. But we also have interesting startup called Nilmore, who is actually the graduate from the Greenlight Accelerator, whose business is in circle textile or circle clothing, so it's very close to Green Deal issues as well. He is under 30 and he does his business from Moravian-Silesian region. He also wants to build a plant here, I think in Karviná part. So that's the other example, and we also have a very successful logistic startup called Skladon, which was among fastest growing technological startups of Deloitte. So there are examples of very successful young companies. They stay here because they are patriots, and now I think they also have a support they need for their expansion globally.
Thank you to both of them, both of you. And now time is running very quickly, so I will just ask: does anybody in the audience have a question regarding business? If no, so we will move to the second topic.
Excuse me, may I interrupt for a moment, please? May I say something, please?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really glad that you young people are very focusing on what you want to do, and there is a services that can help you. We try to do as much as we can, and I will start with a pretty known Chinese proverb, and it says, when you see a beggar, don't give him a fish, teach him how to catch a fish. And this is what we have on our mind when we are talking about the MSIC. This is going to be about that, how to help you to do these things. Of course, you will get some vouchers, you will get some funds, but the most important motivation is what I have learned in the United States, and that is confirmed by very developed countries. You have to use also your funds, your money, because this is the best motivation how to succeed on the market. So I would like to say that we will do as much as we can to help you with MSIC and with all those programs. But you have to understand that a lot of things is also about you, how you are prepared to go to the competition, and you have to have a strong will to succeed. Thank you. This is what I wanted to say. That it's not just about the money, it's more about the ideas, know-how, knowledge, and advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Governor, as well for your contribution. And now I believe that we cover most of the topic of entrepreneurship, and we can move on to the topic of education. Since Zdeněk is our expert in this field, let me present some interesting and basic facts about education in Moravian-Silesian region. I will start with some data. The number of schools in the region is the third largest in the Czech Republic. We have over 400 primary schools, 150 secondary schools, 3 public and 2 private universities. We also have been investing a lot of financial resources, both European and also regional, to modernize our school, equipments, to learning digital skills, soft skills, foreign languages, entrepreneurship and technical skills. Unfortunately, our region has been and was burdened by high proportion of people with lower grades of education. However, this is changing step by step, and there are also efforts to dynamize this process. For example, region has been financially supporting several programs for young people, such as student internship, in the companies. So far, over 200 students were supported that way. Secondly, also the region and also city of Ostrava offer a scholarship for secondary schools, teacher and students in selected craft fields in order to increase student interest in technical profession. And more about project and activities will tell us Zdeněk Karásek, who has been long working on improving the quality of education in our region. So, Zdeňku, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. As it was mentioned, it's not just about money, it's also about mindset. And we try to do a lot to change the mindset of this region, which was formerly based on employment or employee culture. We want to have more entrepreneurial culture, and we are doing a lot in this field. As it was mentioned, here is just for you a basic picture about just transition plan. On the right side from your view, there are 7 fields in which we prepare and where we will realize different interventions, different projects. And the last but not least among them are interventions to improve people and their skills. There is an information about something which you can see if you go along Ostravice River. You can see 2 new buildings which are going up. This project was started 3 years ago, and there are 2 new faculties. One is focused on sport and health, and the other one for art and design. And we want to bring here a lot of clever people, and if we want this, we need to offer them both new modern buildings, modern ways of learning, and this is, let's say, first visible example of such an effort. It will start activities in the autumn of the next year. So in the autumn of the next year, there will be first students in these 2 buildings, 2 faculties. What are we preparing for the future? I can present you just few projects which are being prepared. The first one is called Black Cube, Center for Digitization, Science and Innovation. This project will be located in Ostrava. It will be in the opposite to the current culture house near the regional office. This is a project for about 80 million euro, and there will be a new scientific library, let's say, but also it will have some other functions for big co-work and community center and so on. The project will start at the end of this year and will be finished until 2026. Another project is located in Karviná. It's a center for business, professional and international studies. This is a little bit smaller project for 25 million euro, and there will be special professional trainings, bachelor studies, very much connected with the practice, and it is inspired from Finland, and the teachers, or let's say coaches, more coaches than teachers, are or have been trained in Finland to deliver the specific subjects like innovative business and so on. This project will also start this year and will be fully developed by the year 2027. Another project is called Trautom. It is focused on adult population for employees. You know that we are in the process of transformation from steel and coal, but on the other hand, we have also transformation of automotive sector, because currently the major business sector, industrial sector here is automotive, but you know this information about going from these combustion engines to these electrical ones and hydrogen ones, and it's also connected with the new skills of people in this sector. So this project will help companies to improve skills of their existing employees. And here is the let's say, last but not least project, which I would like to tell you a little bit more. It's called Technical and Entrepreneurial Academy. This project will cover the whole region in our Moravia-Silesia. It is focused on complete transformation of so-called vocational education and training. It means, let's say, secondary technical schools, but it has also some kind of connection to the universities and so on. This project is inspired in Basque region in Spain, and Basques they started complete revolution of this education about 10 years ago. Now they are the best example in the world, and it is based on one thing. If you want to change the education, it's not enough to say this is the strategy and teacher do it somehow. It's necessary to deliver the new content to the teacher, both with regard to the subjects and with regard to the didactical methods. It means how to learn it. You know, typical Czech education, and not only Czech, is based on so-called master classes. Here is the teacher, he's speaking about something, the students are listening, and then there are some tests and so on. But this is old-fashioned, and now we would like, at least in this part of education focused on technical schools, we must be much more dynamic, and we must be close to the best companies here in the region and in the world. And it is done according to these Basques, and I can show you some pictures. They when they started this revolution, let's say about 10 to 12 years ago, they set up the organization called Technica. This is that picture, and in one place creative teachers together with people from companies, they develop new education content. How to do it in let's say digital environment, virtual reality and so on. It is done on one place in this institution, and then it is distributed to all schools in these Basque regions through trainings of more than 1,000 teachers per year. So either you participate in the process of development and then you use it, or you are trained within this organization. It goes very quickly. The schools are quite modern, and these schools are also partners of the small and medium businesses in this region. So for us, it's a very good example. We started to cooperate on this 2 years ago, and now we are in the before, let's say, big start of this institution and change of our education. Here you can see some examples from this institution and from the schools in this Basque region. You cannot see any typical classroom, which is in some cube behind the solid walls. It is just an open space. Another kind of, let's say, training is like this. It's some hall with the robots. There are some very modern machines, and the students, they train on the real technology. It is completely different than in our schools. There are also some hydroponic lessons. Here you can see some robots and so on. And it is completely different way of how to prepare people in these technical subjects. Why revolution in this field of education? Because in the business world, in the world of technological companies, the world is very quick and dynamic. And we are like in 19th to 20th, beginning of 20th century, but we must be much quicker, and this is the idea behind this project. And we hope that we will be the best in our country, perhaps in Central Europe, and we cooperate with the best in the world. It means with these Basques and with other institutions around the world. So this is about this specific project, and as I mentioned, it already started with some pilot activities 2 years ago, but very massively it will start in the second half of this year under the financing of this Just Transition Fund. So this is all about activities which should help us to transform the education in our region. It is not easy because there is a central government with the central strategies, but usually in Czech Republic the way from strategies to reality is too long and long term, and we need to make it very in a much more dynamic way, and this is our way how to do it.
Thank you very much for your complex overview about what is being prepared for the future. And now I would like to turn to Vojta, because Zdeněk mentioned a new faculty of sports in Černá Louka, and you are doing business in this area. Can you tell us what are your dreams related to sport and health?
Yes, of course. First of all, let me thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm very happy, and now I will try to answer this question. So, of course, I have several dreams related to my professional future. First is I would like to bring the latest information related to pain management, related to movement, related to overall health to our region. Second, I would like to enrich not only ordinary people but also professional athletes by this information, and therefore help them with their performance or just with their pain if they deal with some issue. And thirdly, I would like to educate other professionals to make them to be able to share this knowledge portfolio to their clubs, to basically everyone, and then create the environment which will be healthier and also more competitive.
Okay, thank you very much. I already set an appointment in your ordination, so I recommend also to others. And I have also another question for you. You travel a lot in these past years. Do you think that the knowledge is very important for people? To gaining knowledge from abroad is important for people in our region?
Yes, so I will try to be as, let's say, brief as possible. So I traveled a lot in the last 5 years. I visited and I stayed at many schools, not only in Asia but also Europe and the US. Besides that, I met many professors, students, and other just ordinary people, so I can compare between the school environment in the Czech Republic and between the school environment abroad. So in my opinion, it's very necessary to implement a few things if we want to be better and be more competitive. I think the first thing is to be more open to new, maybe unconventional ideas. Also to think in a more positive way. Also to be able to actively listen to what not only the young but also others are saying. And last thing, maybe the most important, is to create some intergenerational cooperation, because we can learn from each other and therefore basically improve the whole society. Yes, so that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. And if everything's happen, are you sure that you will stay in our region?
Definitely, I like this region. I think it's a nice region. I have a family here. I have friends here. The environment is good. So let's see what will happen. And if possible, I would like to participate somehow on this and help the others to be better, and of course to learn from the others as much as I can. because if each of us has like different perspective, different point of view, maybe even on the same thing, and then all together we can come up with some interesting and innovative ideas. So yes.
Thank you very much. And there is also, after your short introduction, is an opportunity for you to ask our speaker anything you like. So do you have some question for our speaker?
I have a question for Zdeněk, and I would like to ask you, how can a real life experience of young professional, let's say entrepreneurs, can be implemented into the school environment?
It's not very easy, but it's possible. I can give you some examples. There is an initiative in Karviná which is called srdcaři, how to say it in English. People with heart, patriots. Yeah. And during this, or within this initiative, there are many young entrepreneurs, and we organized discussions of these young entrepreneurs in schools of Karviná, in secondary schools, and it was very interesting. It was very, let's say, well accepted by the students, because they many times hear just theory, but when they received the real stories of young entrepreneurs working in Karviná, which has not a high reputation, let's say, but these people are there, they are active, they are successful. So these examples were accepted. So this is one possibility. Another one is from the region of Bruntal, which is on the west side of our region, and they started about 2 years ago. They started international program together with Polish partners, which is focused on development of business incubators in high schools and in primary schools. And it was initiated by the idea from Israel, because the leader of this initiative, a director of one Bruntal secondary school, he visited Israel. They are startup nation, so they are very entrepreneurial, and he prepared this project. And both on the Polish side and on the Czech side, there is one incubator in secondary school and 3 incubators in primary schools. And within these incubators, there are both teachers and young entrepreneurs, and they trying to change the mindset of the young pupils, let's say, because in Czech Republic our mindset is more mindset of producers, to produce something. And if you have, for example, extracurricular activities like you produce some ceramics, for example, some vase or some bowl or things like this, the typical Czech pupil tries to prepare the best or very nice bowl or vase, but in these incubators they train how to think and in an entrepreneurial way, how to sell it from the very beginning. So these kind of activities to combine the traditional approach with this new approach is trained in these activities. So these are just two examples.
Okay, and now I would like to turn to anyone on the podium and also on the side. If there is some question related to education, just please raise a hand. Okay.
And the question is how to change the current education system and the way children learn about the Moravian-Silesian region at schools. Because in order to start new businesses, you need people, and right now the people are leaving this region. And I think the main reason for this is because they are taught that this region is polluted and they just don't want to live in here. And can you give me your opinion about this? Thank you.
It is a very complex question. With regard to pollution and quality of air, we will speak about it a little bit in the last part of our session. So let's avoid it now. What are we doing? First, on the strategic level, we identified two main super priorities or problems to be solved. One is brain drain, which is what you mentioned, and the other one is image of the region. And everyone who came here from, let's say, Prague or Pilsen or abroad is very much surprised that it is completely different region than it is the image of the region. So we try to change it. We are very active on many levels. We present our activities in Europe, like today, for example, because it is online transferred also to Europe. We try to inform everybody about the changes which are here. But you know, the most influential motivation is your own experience. So if you, as young people, if you can see the changes, then perhaps you will be more motivated to stay here. And therefore I mentioned, for example, these two new faculties going up near Ostravice River, but everyone who lives here can see that this region is in the process of big changes, changes for the better. I have such a feedback many times from people both from here and from other regions. So hopefully it is the trend which will continue. Now, as it was mentioned by the governor, we have even bigger opportunity if we use very efficiently these funds which are available. And you could see some projects which are being prepared. Some more will be also presented later. So there is and will be a lot of opportunities for young people who like the change, who like to be part of this change. Because if you live in Prague or South Bohemia, for example, it's nice. But there are not so many changes like here. So if you like a little bit adventurous, it's the right place for you.
Thank you.
If I may add something,
sure.
I think you are right. The pupils at primary schools really don't know what's going on in the region. So what we are trying to do at MSIC is to organize the school visits to MSIC where we present what actually we do, what kind of very interesting companies and startups are based here in Ostrava, just to show to the kids that things are really changing, that it's not about the coal mining anymore, but that there is a lot of different technologies and they can do it here in Ostrava, so they don't have to leave.
Thank you very much. Now it's time to move to another block, which is
Can I
excellence.
ask a question, please?
Sure.
Mr. Karasek, are there any plans for broader introduction of entrepreneurial education at high schools? Because I study in Ostrava and at my school there weren't any lessons like that, and I'm very...
I will start and then I will ask Adela. As I mentioned, this project, Technological and Entrepreneurial Academy, this is exactly that institution which will help to bring new methods of education, both technical and entrepreneurial, to schools. But my experience is that if you want this change, you need to prepare the contents to the teachers because they don't have sometimes time or sometimes experience. So it must be prepared for them. It's done and will be done in this institution.
Yeah, this is something what will happen on the institutional level, and because we are aware that this entrepreneurial education is not so intensive at secondary schools, we have these different activities like the business camp for really students from the high school, so they can participate. And actually this business camp was created also in the framework of the Technological and Entrepreneurial Academy. So,
and I would very much invite you to come with the ideas. What would you like to see or to experience in your schools? Come with the ideas and we will prepare some programs how to implement it.
Okay, I'd be very glad because in, for example, the business camp, I think that it is quite pity that it's only for pupils who come to the business camp, because if you don't know what to expect at business camps and you have little idea what does it contain and so on, you don't come. So I think that it'd be better if everyone in high school got the idea of it.
Thank you. Now I would like to our speakers to switch
Maybe
if
I
they
add a
can.
couple words, please. May I add something?
Sure, Mr. Governor.
Now I'm going to talk as a chairman of the, let's say, Board for Education, Research and Youth of Czech Parliament. And good news is that we are ahead of a very complex transformation of educational system. And what I see as a very positive on that is that we are going move from, let's say, knowledge of mathematics and reading, etc., to building competencies, to be able to use this knowledge and to create something. It means to switch to the learning by doing. I believe that's going to be successful. It's going to take maybe 5-10 years, but I see that everybody has accepted this idea that we have to do that we have to switch from this old-fashioned education to the new form education, and entrepreneur education should be part of that. This is what I wanted to add, that we are aware of this problem, and I believe that we will be able to change the educational system, because it won't be easy. It won't be easy because the resistance of the system is always very hard, and it's not easy to overcome it. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would like our speakers to switch and welcome to the stage Mr. Igor Ivan, who is Vice Rector of the Technical University of Ostrava. And now we come to the topic of excellence, and what we mean by that, it's excellence in the area of science, research and innovation. Mr. Karasek, what is behind this concept?
I think that we are a little bit behind the schedule, so I will shorten this introduction. First, I must say that the bad news is that in comparison to other two centers in Prague and Brno, our region is under-financed with regard to public spending to science and research. For example, Prague receives 7 times more than Ostrava, Brno 3 times more. Of course, they are bigger with regard to science infrastructure, but it's too much, this difference. But we must prepare the new projects, how to improve the situation, and this will be presented by Mr. Igor Ivan, how we are, let's say, working on this.
Thank you, Zdeněk, for your words for the future and summarizing the history. Thank you for the possibility to be here. I'm glad to see some of our students that I possibly met during some of activities that we are providing for students, helping them to find a new job and new possibilities how to spend their lives. We heard many things. We have heard words like brain drain. We heard perfect sentence from coal mining to data mining. We heard a word like excellence. We heard MSIC. We heard many times also the name of my university, and I'm glad for it. And because I'm responsible at the university for the strategy and cooperation, I tried to present you some activities that we prepare, not only the university, but our university together with other bodies from the region, for you, for young people who want to be well educated, who want to do maybe science, who want to cooperate with the innovative companies, or who want to create innovative companies. So if you can start the presentation, I would really appreciate it. Oh, it's my job. Sorry for this. I was instructed to do so, but I forget it. VSB Technical University of Ostrava, together with the Moravian-Silesian Innovation Center, we together prepared a joint activity called Smaragd. That is summarizing something what has been already said. Smart and green district, smart and green region. We bring a new vision, a new strategy, how to transform innovation potential and business potential of this region into smart and green district. As I said, it's a joint activity of the VSB Technical University of Ostrava and also MSIC, and we heard a lot of activities from Adela that are great for potential businessmen and businesswomen. Is it okay to say it? I'm not sure. Anyway, our university is also preparing new ways how to teach students, how to prepare them for a life in a new era, let's say. We want to create something what is called living laboratories, living labs. We want to convert our campus, one of the largest in the Central Europe, into living labs. Living labs is something what you can imagine like an area where students, perfect or great scientists, academics, companies, public sector meet regularly, share their problems, ideas, knowledge, and this whole environment accelerate everybody. We want to build on the variety of experiences because our university is focused on education and MSIC is focused on, let's say, how to start a business. It's great because what we invent, we need to sell. We need to transfer into business, and that's the role of MSIC, and that's the role of you, of young people, to invent something, to come with new ideas, new inventions, and present them and transform them into the real object. We want to do multidisciplinary research. We want to do education tailored to current challenges in the world, so something what is connected to European Green Deal, something what is connected to Digital Europe. And I think that's the great opportunity for young people, for you, and for the business. But Smaragd is not only a vision. As was said by my colleagues, many has been already done in area like education and like entrepreneurial skills. And also our university did a lot. As Mr. Governor said, we have IT for Innovation, National Supercomputing Center, but we want to go further. We doesn't want to mine the data. We want to transform from black to green. We want to transform the whole region. And as the brain drain was said, we do our best to transform it to the brain gain, as Adela said. Nice. And so we are happy that we hired the most, or one of the best scientists in the whole country, focused on chemistry, focused on environment, and they are helping us to fulfill our targets. And that's only the beginning. And one of the key activity, one of the key projects that it should help us to accelerate all of these activities is a project called Refresh. Refresh is interconnecting 4 living labs. The first one is focused on energy. Energy, this word is in the news on daily basis. Many times you can hear it, you can read it. So this energy lab will focus on modern energy. Currently we are leading the energy research in the whole country, so we are the right university, and this is the right place to do so. Materials and environment lab. another key topic, because I think that the future is in materials, new materials. Industry 4.0 and automotive lab, something what is what's following on the IT for innovation and incorporating IT for innovation into new activities in this era, like e-mobility, like autonomous vehicles, etc., etc. And last but not the least, social lab. This activity is led by Ostrava, University of Ostrava, and is focused on how these technological changes will affect the society, social mobility, unemployment, etc., etc. And all of these activities should be, and I hope will be, funded by the Just Transition Fund. Another important, I think, important project from Smarek strategy is T-Park upgrade, but Adela has mentioned several activities that are part of this project led by MSIC. And what are the benefits of this strategy? I will summarize it by this one slide, and this is the last slide. It was said that the Moravian-Silesian region was somewhere below, and we did something. Moravian-Silesian region is going up, and we want to keep Moravian-Silesian region among top 3 most developed economies in the Czech Republic. We want to increase business intensity, we want to increase knowledge intensity of the economy, and we want to help to increase wages and the number of jobs together with the Moravian-Silesian region innovation center, and other stakeholders and important bodies such as University of Ostrava and others.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ivan. I would like to turn to Faizan, who is studying at the Technical University of Ostrava, and ask you what attracted you to come to Ostrava and what is your field of study?
A very good evening to one and all present here, respected dignitaries on and off the dais. The most important reason for me to choose this particular region is the affordability. When compared to the other 2 regions, it's more affordable for me as a foreign student over here. Secondly, there are more number of industries in this particular area, so that I can gain some practical knowledge in this particular region. And the other thing that that made me to choose this particular university is the curriculum. What Technical University of Ostrava has set for my coursework, that is industrial engineering. It's quite unique when compared to some other universities. So rightly so. And these were the main key points that drove me to choose this particular region and this university. Thank you.
And do you plan to stay here in the future?
I'm open for opportunities, and if I get an opportunity, I wish to stay back for a few years. Thank you.
Thank you. You have also prepared some question for our experts. So
yes, I have one question for sir. In which field of science and research the Technical University of Ostrava is the best in the Czech Republic?
Thank you for this nice question. Honestly, we have our strategic plan of our university, and we know and we are aware of that we cannot be the best in everything. That's clear. But the whole history of our university is connected with 2 things: materials and energy. 172 years ago, it was coal and steel. Now, it's not coal, but it's hydrogen, it's CO2 neutral sources of energy, like wind, like solar plants, and the material, it's not steel anymore. It's like something like composite materials, new materials. So the university is still, the core of the DNA of the university is still the same. It's energy and materials, but not coal and steel, but new materials and new energy sources. And one thing is new, and the new thing is IT, because 172 years ago there was more or less no IT, but the current situation has changed. So I think 3 areas: IT, materials, and energy.
Thank you, sir.
And maybe I would add.
Of course.
I would add that the supercomputing is now the best in Czech Republic. Okay, there is no competitor in Czech Republic in the supercomputing. And what's nice on that supercomputer is just the big lab, nothing else. And this big lab can be used for all these topics that were mentioned here before. It means we can use it for the energy, for the shape design, and we use it for a pharmaceutical industry as well. So it means supercomputing is something what right now is one of the best, I would say the best in Czech Republic.
I think all of these three things are interconnected, but I totally agree that supercomputing is probably the best area from the IT area that I said in the Czech Republic, but not only in the Czech Republic. I think we are important location European-wide in the supercomputing activities.
Okay, I know that we are running out of time, but I see Erai that he is going to ask a question or add a comment.
Hello, first of all, it's great to be here. As a eye from outside, especially from Turkey, it's great to see the changing of this region and the new improvements. It's really breathtaking. Let me introduce you myself. I'm Eray Srasut, coming from Turkey. I'm studying mechanical engineering here. The first thing I want to say about myself is this thing is dead. I guess. No. Yeah, sure. The first thing I want to say about myself is I'm always open to learning and discovering new things. So that was the first major reason that I'm here with you. The thing I noticed in Ostrava, in general, as Czech Republic, yeah, I know the brain dead or brain drained people is everywhere in all world, but if we are looking to like successful countries or big first world countries, as we might say, what are they doing? They're keeping the foreigner students, which comes thousands every year to Ostrava, to make something new, innovate something, making benefits from. But when we are looking to into Ostrava or in generally Czech Republic, we are not doing this. We are not doing this at all. I mean, every year in Ostrava, in VHB, in other universities, which university, which you think? Thousands of really smart people comes, which like highest GPDs, they have multiple languages, blah blah blah, you know. And what are we doing this with those people? Nothing. We are not letting them to join our projects using as something useful. I was going to ask. I'm not asking this question in particular one person, but in generally in this event. Are we expecting any improvements about this situation? Because, changing the mindset of this Ostrava people is important, but until that moment, I think the most important thing is using what we have.
And your question is targeting our university on in general the situation?
I mean, for both universities, and for VHB and the Ostrava University also. I don't know the situation in Ostrava University, if they are using those foreigner students effectively or not. But I looked for projects that I could work as a mechanical engineer, I worked as aviation technician, maintenance engineer before also, and now I'm working at the IBM as a mainframe operator. I looked for the opportunities if I can help something about it. I wasn't expecting anything like for a job opportunity or something. I just want to improve myself, and I couldn't do it because no one knows English, first of all. And the projects that I could get into for not bachelor students, for like masters and higher level of education. So, I couldn't find something important.
Yeah, I think you are right. We have some. We have to do our job in this area. Not only our university, but all universities, I think, because the internationalization problem or internationalization activities must be not only external, just that we want to present ourselves outside, worldwide, but we need to be internationalized also internally. So to make use of people, of students that we have. It's based on the level of education, if it's bachelor studies, master studies, or PhD studies. But our university are providing possibilities how to involve into research, research grants, research projects. But it's mainly based on the field of study you are studying and on your teachers, on the people who are providing you the possibility to involve into the project. I think the situation is getting better because we are more and more foreign academics and foreign researchers are going to our university, and with these foreign employees also the culture and the internal culture is changing. So I think compared to situation, and Mr. Governor will not listen for a few seconds, with the situation a few years ago, I think that I would say the quality of living for international students and international scientists went or improved significantly. But still, we need to make use of your brains.
Thank
Maybe
you.
I will add something.
Mr.
Okay?
Governor, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. What we do, what we have to do is to involve our students to the projects, more intensively. This is the main problem of the whole Czech Republic. This is about, we will teach you something, and after that you can go out, you can grab a beer, and that's it. But it's not appropriate very much. I think the university community must be about the, let's say, context, about to working on the projects, to solve something. It's not just about the lectures and exercises. It's about how to learn things by doing them. And I repeat again, this is what I have already said, but this is something what we have to change. When I was a rector of the university, we had 20,000, maybe 22,000 of students. It was almost impossible to involve them into the process of education or research. Why? Because we were paid by the number of students. Now the situation has changed a lot. And now we have a good occasion based on these projects that maybe were presented here, like Refresh, that we have to build teams of students and professors, and they have to work on something that has a real results and real impact on our lives. And by the way, talking about the airplane maintenance, we've got a very big and successful company at Airport Moshnov. Did you visit it already? I think it's good chance to go there, because it is please do that. I think that they are searching for young engineers and people that are willing to work in this area. This is one of the biggest maintenance companies, definitely here in Czech Republic.
And I think that what Mr. Governor said, that's the key idea of the Living Lab, that the student who will study at the university will be surrounded by high-tech equipments, by researchers, by companies, and also by public bodies.
The great thing about the VHB or these universities that I noticed compared to my countries, the access of those high-tech companies is so easy. Working with them, getting into a job or joining them is really easy compared to my country. Also because the lack of this high-tech companies in Turkey, yeah, I understand, but the relationship between the universities and the real production places is really valuable. I think it's really important for preventing brain drain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question as well, please?
of course.
It's to the Dean. Do you want to stick only with the technology and energy and materials research, or do you want to plan to do more complex research? Because when you look to Prague and Brno, they are both IT, they're pharmaceutical, biological, and engineering. And if there are any plans for more complex and more, if you want to focus on more things.
I was asked what's the areas that we want to be the best. So I answered where we want to be the best. These three areas that are long in our history and also for our future. But we want to focus also on another topics like economics, like security. It's very important topic for these days. Yeah, and for raw materials, etc. For civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Yeah, these kind of areas. So all areas that we are that we have faculties for, we have to focus also on the research. But we want to be the best in these three areas.
Okay, I very appreciated that there is such a dynamic discussion, but now it's a time to switch our speakers and invite Mr. Petr Koudela to the podium. And we will talk about the attractive environment and improving the environment of Moravian-Silesian region. And my question belongs to Zdeněk. And can you tell us a little bit about the environment in Moravian-Silesian region?
Once again, I will try to be as brief as possible. So first, it was your question about quality of air. In comparison to the 1990s, the quality is completely different. It's much better, but when we say how much better it is, especially the young people say, good, but not good enough. So a lot must be done to, let's say, be better in this field, and there are many activities. One example, 23,000 old-fashioned combustion boilers were removed in the programs of our region and Ministry for Environment. It was for about 80 million euro in the last years, and similar changes will be done in the next years. The programs are prepared, the money are prepared, so it will be changed. The problem now is the selection of this whether it will be natural gas, which is probably not. So what should be the new boiler? So this is one program. Another program with regard to environment is concerning brownfields. We have 650 brownfields in the region. Many of them are in the area between Ostrava and Karviná, and within this program for Just Transition Fund, we prepared the program called POHO. It means Post Mining Area. And there will many of these brownfields will be changed for better, will be returned back to use of people, either in some let's say production facilities or some fun parks and so on. So it's now under the process. The last but not least question related to environment and young people is about costs of living and flats. It was also mentioned several times during these questions. And we must say that, for example, if you want to buy flat in Prague, you need 12 years salary, average salary, to buy it. In Brno, 10 years. In Ostrava, it's just about 4 years. So for you young people who stay here and buy a flat here, is a good investment, which will pay off, because in the next years it will go much higher. So this is another good, let's say, information. And now, before Peter will take floor, the big advantage of our region is environment. There is a lot of things to see, a lot of facilities for leisure time and so on. And I open this floor to Peter, who will tell you much more about it. Peter is director of our Moravian-Silesian Tourism Agency and the right person to explain you how fascinating are we here.
Thank you, Zdenek. Thank you for invitation to the stage. Actually, I'm the executive of the regional tourism headquarters. I see the function. Our business, me and my colleagues, is showing and presenting all beauties of our region to another countries and another region. Yes, our region is post-industrial and undergoing transformation. Ostrava, or region, lies on motorway connecting Poland, Prague, or Vienna, for example. We share borders with Slovakia and Poland, which is main target for us, absolutely. In Ostrava, we have got international airport with regional flights to London, operated by Ryanair, and new connection to Warsaw, operated by LOT. I am very, very happy with it. Few dates. I have some numbers. Some of there are fresh. Tourism in number. Total numbers of visitors in 2021 is up to 4 million. It's a better number than 2020 and 2019 too. But COVID, because it's our they are our visitors from our region mainly, yeah. Not tourists in mass accommodation, but it's a home visitor from our region. Good numbers in 2021, but bad news for us because a lot of visitors are from our region in 2021 because COVID. Yeah. Another numbers. Something from economy or financial incomes from tourist industry are falling because COVID. 2021 is 5.7 billion crowns. So next one, DOV. Today I manage regional headquarter of tourism, but I would like to focus in this moment on Dolní Vítkovice transformation project, which is my past work place for last 12 years. Dolní Vítkovice in English is lower area of Vítkovice. Vítkovice is a part of the city of Ostrava, and first error in beginning of this project. We translate Dolní Vítkovice as a lower area of Vítkovice, and my brother he lives in London, and he said me, you can translate Dolní Vítkovice because lower area in English is back of body. Yeah, I think S. So better is Dolní Vítkovice in Czech. In the beginning, great model for us were top attraction in the world places with great visibility. For example, New York, Paris, Eiffel Tower, Barcelona, and more. This is Bilbao. Maybe you know this magical place. It's a very similar transformation project as Ostrava, Guggenheim Museum, and Bilbao in Spain. History and situation in this region is really very similar to our region. 1.3 visitors per year there. So model for us. As you can see, Dolní Vítkovice is there. We are doing well, I hope. I hope old blast furnaces with alumina mine. This picture is a facelift. History of this is more than 190 years. But this picture is facelift created by Mr. Pleskot. It is one of the biggest name architect in Czech Republic, maybe in Middle Europe. And the history of this area. Vítkovice was founded in 1828 by Archbishop Rudolf and not only, and his brother Emperor Franz from Vienna established Vítkovice too in 1828. After ironworks finished in 1998, we had 3 approaches. Number one, it was last day museum. Everything would stay. Approach number 2, demolition, new space for developing. And number 3 was winner, main goal, reactivating of this area for new program, education, tourist, culture, and maybe you know this program. So next one, this is all of the area from the festival Colors of Ostrava. From new history, something from new history in 1998, production of pig iron was finished. In 2008 was established a strategy partnership with municipality, with city of Ostrava, and with Moravian-Silesian region. 2009 came Mr. Architect Pleskot, and in 2015 there was first million visitors, and 2 years before COVID it was more than 1.5 million visitors. There is a lot of reactivating building, old blast furnaces, old gas holder, which is a new multifunctional auditorium with hall for 1,500 people, with gallery. There is only one new building, a new science center with 17,000 square meters, spaces for exhibits, for toys, for workshop, for schools, for family, for children. There we are operating lessons or I don't word at the moment. Marketing for science there, yeah. I think. So some details. This is old gas holder, multifunctional auditorium. In this moment, in 2012, it was building of the year of the Ostrava, of the city of the Ostrava. And in 2013 we was awarded as one of top 10 building in the world in Expo München. Science Center, U6 energy station, top tower attraction, not me, before and after, I think Ball Tower. And next one, Technotrasa. Not only Dolní Vítkovice, we have in our region, we have got a route, a journey of another attraction of technical traditional infrastructure. For example, attractivities in lakes, old mines, narrow railways near the Krnov. This is the Technotrasa. This is products of the tourist industry in the Moravian-Silesian region. Something from new project in our region. It isn't our project, but of our colleagues from another regional company. Pouho, it's a very similar to Dolní Vítkovice, but largest, and it's near the city of Karviná. Some picture. More about our beautiful region. We are implementing a campaign called "We Have a World Region." Yes, you know, we compare our monuments with those of the world. You can try it on the website. In Czech is máme světový kraj.cz, and you can move the picture, our and world monuments. For example, next picture. This is a Tatra Car Museum, Opava, Jeseníky Mountains. Nice journey, narrow railway near the Krnov, Osoblaha, and it's finished for my presentation. Thank you for your time.
First of all, I had no idea about Ostrava, what Ostrava is, what region looks like. I had no idea before I came here. It was actually all new for me as well. Obviously I knew something about Czech Republic, like Czechoslovakia, the history behind of it, but in general, Ostrava is all new concept was for me. Yeah, I had no idea about it actually. I'm still exploring though. I can't say I know much about still, because I don't know Czech language and I'm all foreigner to this region. It's not been so long. I'm here for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. So, yeah.
Okay, and did you attend or did you see any of these attractions which was mentioned in the presentation already?
Sorry, can you explain it a bit?
Never mind. There were a lot of very famous, maybe, attraction in our region in this presentation. I just ask if you attend some or see some, but maybe you can say and you can tell us what do you like in our region.
Actually, the thing about this region and this Czech Republic in generally, after seeing 12 countries, it's my 12th country. I like the living style of Czech people. It may seem a bit weird from the outside, but the living style of Czech people's much how can I say, calmer compared to Turkey. It's much more relaxed. The living style of people, not caring things much, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of obvious differences between Turkey and here. First of all, Turkey is 10 times larger as a population, and also the size, not 10 times, but and coming into such country like Czech Republic is like going to a really long vacation and staying there. Yeah, this is the.
I saw 5 years ago a nice energy station in Istanbul. It was university space too. I don't know.
University? Yeah.
I don't know what the name was it, but
Istanbul Technical University.
Yeah. Okay. And there was a nice energy station, and university was there in the building, in the old building. Yeah.
It's the oldest engineering school in Turkey. It's built in 1453. And it's still kept going. It's the best engineering school in the Turkey, and I'm not coming from there.
Okay.
Okay, and Eray, do you have some question related to environment to our speaker before I move to other on the podium?
Let me check my notes.
Maybe we can give a space to other students on the podium. I can ask the same question. Maybe David, what do you like in our region the most?
I like the nature because, again, compared to Prague or Brno, you don't have that much opportunities to do sports. And Ostrava is very nice because we have mountains all around and we can ride bikes and go skiing. You can go skiing from Prague like in 1 hour. Yeah.
True, you are my agent, yeah?
And Faizan, what do you like in our region? What do you appreciate it?
I think the most important thing is that there are a lot of mountains which I love and which are difficult for me to find in my region where I stay back in India. And yes, I had been to a hike provided by the ESN club, that is to Lisa Hora, which the views were like breathtaking, and it gave me a memorable day, and we have a lot of memorable wishes in Czech Republic.
And David, what do you like the most in our region? Oh, Vojta, sorry.
No worries. I think I like a few things. First of all, the accessibility. I think it's quite nice. You can use the roads, the highways, and you can easily reach basically every bigger city. Also, I like the diversity. Let's say we have like many cities, also villages. So I like the life not only in a bigger city as Ostrava is, but also to have a chance to just have a walk in some nice village, or visit some restaurant, or have a nice visit of some lookout, and so on. Also, we have, I think, nice rivers, the dams like, for example, Slezská Harta or Krušberk. We have a cottage, by the way, nearby, so I know about Jeseníky mountains a lot. So I think even for foreigners, it's a great opportunity to visit something which is not maybe common abroad. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, all of you. And
maybe
Eray.
I can add some things. Yeah, it's talking about the things I like easy. I can list many things, but I think the lack of something is much more interesting to me. The things I don't like about Czech Republic. So let me tell you how it is to live in like country like in Turkey. As both we know, as coming from crowded places, the living in such crowded places sometimes beneficial. Let me give you one example. When I first came here to Prague, I firstly a flight from Istanbul to Prague. I arrived, and after 10 minutes or so, I was just trying to find my way, and I went some people and tried to ask something in English, and they just like, what? They just started walking away from me, and people seemed might scared. It's like, what's he trying to say? They don't understand me, and they were definitely not willing to help. Yeah, that might seem a spectacular or one-time experience, but after this time, I started to travel around the city in Prague, in here also after I arrived, and the thing is, the communication is with people is so hard sometimes because the lack of language first, and sometimes this is a real pain for me, especially because when I go to the market, when I go to like some government buildings, to extend my visa to police, everything sometimes can be messy for us, like foreigners. Yeah, let me give you one more example. In Turkey, like after 8 p.m., 9 p.m., if you are hungry and you want to eat something, you easily go out and can find something. The day I arrived here, I had nothing. I had just my clothes and stuff, blah blah. I was just looking something to eat. In Ostrava, in like the Porova in our state, I couldn't find anything. It's incredible. Like even small crackers, blah blah stuff, anything. And that day was holiday, so the everywhere was closed. Yeah, it was not a pleasant experience, but yeah, in the end I got used to it.
I was expected that you will give us some negativity to our discussion, but it's very good, as you say, because we always have a space to improve. Yeah, so thank you for your comment.
May I add something?
Yes, of course.
Unfortunately, I have a little bit similar experience because I'm also joining like the buddy system at VSB. And I had a chance to, like, let's say, be a buddy of one student, and she has similar experience. But I think that people are maybe scared that if they are, let's say, challenged to speak English in everyday conversation, they might be scared of making a chance, and as we discussed before, I think this starts with the education of the kids. So I think we are on a good way, but it will just take time, and every one of us should participate somehow, and we just don't have to be scared that we will make a mistake just to provide some information. If some foreigner will ask, they usually need some basic information, how to get somewhere, where to buy train tickets, and I hope and I believe then in the future it will be better and better, and then we will basically provide a reason for them, for those, let's say, clever people to stay here, because the environment will be friendly for them, and they will feel like as they are at home, or even better, because as we mentioned, our region has a lot of things to offer to foreigners.
Yeah, right.
May I add something? By the way, we are talking about the staying in the region term so much. I was thinking about I think the staying in the region is not important, but the improving and adding something new to the region is what the important thing is. It's not like it's not a direct reason to or not reason or it's not necessary to stay in this region to help this region. I think, in particular, bringing new ideas or making new opportunities, creating something new. It's always something that can be done. And every day with the technology investments, some level is rising in the whole world, but not equally, actually. The thing is, I think we need to improve detecting the exact same problems, and creating results that that somehow we can improve about them, and maybe the change happens.
Okay, thank you for your discussion, also vivid. And maybe that's a time to end this workshop, and I will use the presence of our governor, who is here with us because he has only 30 minutes today for us, but he is with us till the end. So I will give a floor to him if he will want to add something at the final remarks. So, Mr. Governor.
Thank you for joining this session. It was really inspiring. Yeah, I know a lot of things that you were talking during the last 5-10 minutes that do we have to change it. It's not easy. You know, people sometimes are not so open, but the reasons are not that they are bad. I think the reason is that I just hesitate to speak a different language. But it's not excuse. The problem is that it's more than 30 years after the revolution, and we did not improve the language levels of skills of language to speak of our youngsters. This is something what we see that a big issue, and I was pretty disappointed when I have heard that pupils don't have to learn a second foreign language, because right now it's a part of that. I understand that it has many reasons, but why not? But still, I think that the language is very important, and for me it was very inspiring. Thank you very much. It was fine to sit with you here in my office and you in Pant.
Thank you very much. And now I have no choice but to end this workshop. I will thank our speaker for interesting presentation, and our audience, and also our 4 students for active discussion and participation. So thank you very much, and have a good rest of the evening.